Why could be a hater?
Woo! Jimbo, yeah!
That was my whole face.
Okay, that was too much.
Kick it back, do that.
Sorry.
Alright.
Am I still your favorite?
Yes. This one's called 66506. Geography. A degree of silence I still speak of fondly. A single car 2 miles off, popping, rustling, a veritable ruckus if the wind stood still enough. Many midnights I stood upon a high hill, alone above wide wheat acres, and heard coyotes kill more clearly a mile off than my own thoughts come to me here. 2. General infrastructure. 65 on gravel. I don't know if I'd dare that today, but 16 in a brand spanking new, to me, rusted out POS pickup truck. I did it daily, my 17 miles to school, dodging deer, four-wheelers, stray cattle. That McHenry boy could never fix a fence. And all manner of God's humble creature and folk. You do 90 once you hit the blacktop. Don't fret if you should pass the county sheriff. He'll just smile and wave. He did worse in his day. 6 a.m. any morning at the Eaton place, if you want to hear once again how he wrapped a Mustang around a tree and didn't even get a scratch.
I have a tab. My last name is
2 a.m. any Friday at Posse's place, if you want to hear him slur through how his high school sweetheart fared in the passenger seat of that Mustang. 3. Population breakdown. Population 312. 15-mile radius. Decent white folk, 70%. Wetbacks, 24%. Includes brown folk of an indeterminate race. Black folk, plus or minus 2%. They never last long here, you know. Indecent white folk, 12%. Happies, hippies, trash, etc. I spent my formative years among the good, righteous, pure as the driven snow, white-bread folk of the world, thanking white Jesus every day that my mother was pale enough to bleed the brown out of my father's skin, giving me that most blessed right to check that most crucial box, white, Caucasian. 4. Employment. Thumbstick and purple farm folk pulling thin livings from hogs, hens, heads of beef, palms black, slivered with silver mechanics. Maybe Votech, maybe Army, maybe just 20 years pulling wrenches beside their daddy. From these men and women, hard as January topsoil, I learned what the word proletariat meant. Long before a sarcastic young man in a tweed jacket told me that Americans have no concept of working hard. 2 nursing homes inside 25 miles, 12-hour shifts, feet begging for shoes not bought at Kmart, bathing modeled men and women once proud, cheerful, and strong, now pissed, shitted, too gone to even play checkers properly. Truth be told, I still wince every time one of my young friends optimistically announces her intention to strap on a CNA license and start tending the hollowed hulks that are the unloved, infirm, and forgotten. Greasy spoons abound, barely legal teens, shuffled in evenly with broke-breasted wrecks of womanhood, slinging hash and bacon, black coffee, gizzards, and chicken fried steak, all the fine cuisine of 66506. You see their eyes go wide when one of those smoke-belching behemoths spits up black, but in the same breath wheezes, "When I was your age, honey, I looked just like you." 5. Religion. Shoulder to thick shoulder, the gray faces of blue-collared, brown-collared, no collared at all, chapped hands folded in pensive praise. Methodists, Lutherans, supposed all-faced evangelicals, a Catholic here or there when they dared to show up. Their voices still echo in my mind, raised in monotonous mumbling, crying out to their God for mercy. Shoehorned into a faith too small for my thick neck, I lived and breathed the dry, desiccated dogma of Midwestern Christianity. More moaning than rejoicing, really. Each Sunday, sipping bitter juice from a plastic thimble, I remembered my youth as a Southern Baptist, one of 10 white faces in our church, a church in the decidedly more foreign, bitter racial territory of North Florida. But there were no gray faces there. Instead, black, Brown, buttercream, and burnt umber were the colors of my religious youth. And way up at the front, behind the pulpit, my happy father rained down fire and love, faith and brimstone, filled us bursting with passion for our life of poverty. God damn, do I miss that beautiful sound. Mouths open, heads back, hands up and heaving, lifting a truly joyful noise to their Father. 20 years later, my father makes no beautiful noise, having lost his God along twin decades of tragedy, shame, and a failing, corrupt, mortal coil. I never believed in God, not once, but I sure as hell believed in my daddy. 66506. I take it with me wherever I go. It slips into my speech, my ways when I'm careless or drunk. It reflects and bends and shapes everything that I see. Everyone that I love. It persists, it confounds, and yet as hard as I kick it, as many times as I spit upon its memory, sully its treasures by only speaking of its faults, it's still a part of me. Hell, it is me. All the flaws and fantastic, ripped raw breaths of this hard, gorgeous life. And as many times as I correct my tongue, as many paintings as I view, all the hours poring over exotic and learned highfalutin lore, I still find myself thumbing through to the nitty-gritty dirt band, frying up some chicken gizzards with gravy, not ranch, and missing my front porch where all the world could be listened to in the absence of mankind's crude, rumbling rushes. 66506. It's the home behind my eyes. Our next person is Kate Snot. Kate!
It's snotty.
Wait, what did I say?
No, it's snot.
Yeah, literally said snot.
Oh well, whatever. So I wrote this on a napkin about 10 minutes ago. So it's a little bit rough.
That's how we like it.
Alright. Okay.
LOL sucks.
I can't read my writing. I can't read my writing. But what does it matter? You took my words and drowned them in the gin and tonics that I loved so well. Loved like a child of my own, only to be expelled from me, followed by darkness, to awaken hours later on the cold tile, dazed and disoriented, but warm, despite what the thermostat reads. In comparison to that cold October morning, it's like July, when all was just as give me my words back.
Yeah.